Hi, we're here in the sanctuary at Third Presbyterian Church, a place that's probably familiar to many of you. But maybe some of you have never seen the table I'm sitting at. This is what we call the Children's Worship Table, and you've probably had a chance to sit at it before if you've been here on a holiday weekend or in the summer. It's a place for kids to come during the worship service so they have something to do, but they also still get to be a part of our worshiping service and a part of our community. We liked it so much that we decided during the Sunday school year we'd invite our classes to rotate through and come and sit every month and a half or so at the Children's Worship Table. And this year you'll have the chance to do just that. There's a couple tips that we thought might be helpful for you as you try out this new Children's Worship Table. First of all, I'll show you what you'll have at your seat. Every seat will have some sort of activity that ties in with the lesson for the day. The Sunday we did this one, we learned about communion, and there were different challenges, and on the back there was even a maze that you could do. Sometimes there are puzzles, sometimes there are coloring pages. There may be books from the children's library, or even a children's Bible so you can follow along with the story. There's always things like crayons and glue sticks and scissors and paper to do your own thing. And we have things like Play-Doh and Play-Doh mats to keep our hands busy, and even a finger labyrinth that you can use to keep your body moving while your mind listens to prayers or anthems or even the sermon. And of course, you'll always have a hymnal and a Sunday bulletin so that you can follow along with what's going on in the service. So, if you've never sat at the table before, I've got some hints that might help you have a better experience. The first one is participate in the service. You've got your worship bulletin, and so lots of prayers are unison and they're written right in there for you to say. When it comes to a hymn, use your hymnal to follow along and sing with the whole congregation. Challenge yourself. Follow along with the scripture readings in either the grown-up Bible or one of the children's Bibles we have. Listen when the preacher is giving the sermon. Hear how the scripture has connected with whatever they're saying. Think about the hymns and the themes you hear. Do they connect in any way? At the time of prayer, think not only of what our pastor is praying for, but think about if you have prayers in your heart that you'd like to share. Think about being quiet at times when it's important. It's not a good idea to get up in the middle of a prayer. It's not a good idea to ask your neighbor a loud question in the middle of a quiet part of an anthem. So think about what's going on and make good choices. Places like the offertory or the announcements or the beginning or end of a hymn are good times to do that when people are transitioning anyway. Keep a list of questions about the service in your brain. You can ask your Sunday school teacher or your parents or one of the pastors or me any questions that you have about what happened in the service. The next week in Sunday school, maybe you can talk as a class about what you learned and about how it's tying in with this week's lesson. Use any of the resources at the table that would be helpful to you. From crayons to scissors to Play-Doh to worksheets, it's all there for you to use and enjoy. And finally, but probably most importantly, look and listen for God. Is there a piece of music that just makes your heart feel wonderful? Do you see the sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows in the middle of a prayer? Is being with your whole church family together giving you a feeling of peace and being part of something big? Well, that's what we hope happens in the children's worship service. We hope you experience worship, we hope you experience community, and we hope you experience God. See you at church.